today, aren't we? Unions and employers reaching a deal on President Hollande's latest plan. This is a job creation plan, isn't it?
Yes, 5 of France's main trade unions were meeting with employers' groups in Paris on Wednesday. They're working to hammer out the details of Francois Hollande's so-called Responsibility Pact. This is his plan to cut payroll taxes for employers by 30 billion euros in exchange for a commitment from those employers to create jobs. Now, 3 of the 5 unions signed up to the plan with business groups. It's an important step forward in a plan which is seen to improve France's competitiveness. Catherine Viette has the story.
Runaway public debt, rising unemployment. President Francois Hollande has his hands full trying to jumpstart the French economy. Since January, he's been talking up his Responsibility Pact, a plan to phase out 30 billion euros of payroll taxes in exchange for businesses committing to hiring targets. Hollande charged employers and unions with working out the fine print. On Wednesday, both sides laid out a framework agreement signed by employer groups and all but 2 of the main labor unions.
Employers will benefit from significant tax advantages, so it's normal that we'll see it turned into jobs. This is the goal.
The agreement stopped short of fixing the numerical hiring targets, leaving it to each sector to negotiate job creation deals, a move that angered 2 of France's 5 big unions.
We consider this proposed agreement by employers a pact of total social regression, concocted by arrogant and dismissive bosses.
MEDEF, the Employers Federation, said it would press companies to create 1 million jobs by 2017, which could translate into a 1% drop in the unemployment rate. But it ruled out any legally binding targets. The president hopes to put the agreement before the government at the end of March.
Another story from France now, but from the corporate sector this one. News of a bidding war for France's second largest mobile operator.
Yeah, Vivendi, which owns the carrier SFR, says it's received 2 rival offers to buy the mobile network. Now, the 2 bidders are the cable and broadband operator Numericable and its rival network Bouygues. Now, Numericable's offer is thought to be worth around 15 billion euros for the network, but if Bouygues' offer was accepted, it would create the country's largest mobile operator with around 32 million customers. That would push France Telecom's Orange into second place. Now, the deal would need European Commission approval if Bouygues' offer was to be accepted, but it would be a massive change in what is one of the most competitive mobile markets in Europe.
OK, well, let's have a look at what's on the markets.
Well, over in Asia today, the Nikkei continuing to rise in Tokyo, closing up 1.6%. In trading today. In China, shares back in the green. They had been down earlier, though. There's ongoing concerns about what will be the first corporate bond default in mainland China due to happen tomorrow. This is the solar equipment producer Chaori Solar. So they can't meet payments on their bonds due tomorrow. That's been causing investors some worries, but keeping the Shanghai Composite in the green today.
And let's have a look at the company's news today.
Okay, and we'll start with the Australian carrier Qantas, which the government in Canberra has passed a bill through the lower house which would relax the rules governing foreign ownership of the company. Qantas argues the limits are giving their competitors an unfair advantage. The airline's cutting 5,000 jobs after reporting losses of $210 million for the second half of 2013. But the measure is likely to be blocked by opposition parties in the Senate who want to keep the firm majority Australian-owned. The British banks Barclays and Lloyds are to award massive share bonuses to their bosses in an effort to avoid a new cap on executive pay. EU rules that came into force in January set a maximum bonus limit of twice an employee's salary if it's approved by shareholders. The CEO of Barclays is set to receive more than 1.1 million euros worth of shares this year. And a senior executive at the US retailer Target has resigned in the wake of the massive data breach at the company last year. The firm's chief information officer, Beth Jacob, was in charge of the computer system from which the credit card details of 40 million customers were stolen. It's the first major departure from Target since news of the scandal emerged last December.
Now then, a startup company is offering what many New Yorkers simply cannot afford. That is space, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been dubbed the Zipcar of personal spaces, this idea of hiring space by the hour. Breather is the name of the company. They're offering rooms, essentially, to rent for $25 an hour for people to chill out. They can book them via a mobile app that you can see there, and they get a digital code to enter the room. They're equipped with sofas, a dining table, free Wi-Fi. The service is available currently in 3 locations in Manhattan. The company says they've had a lot of interest in it already.
It looks quite smart.
And work, you can meet, you can relax, you can do anything that is not illegal or immoral according to our terms of service. So we love people having meetings, we love people coming to take a nap, we love people coming to do their homework. All of that you can do. Use your imagination for what you can do within the limits of the law and within moral limits.
It does look a little bit smarter than where you normally go to take time out, doesn't it?
Oh, indeed.
The toilet, I'm talking. That's where you go to kind of chill, don't you? Stephen
just
fakes
used
it. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. We're not going away from business now, when we hand over the desk to Flo, because we're also talking about business there. A lot of the press reacting to the European Commission's decision to put France on a watch list over its trade deficit.
That's right. Now, Les
stop
Echos,
laughing.
sorry, did not see that one coming, Stuart. Les Echos, the business paper, calls this a real slap in the face. The noose is tightening. It's yet another warning from Brussels, says Les Echos. By putting France under this reinforced surveillance, the European Commission is basically telling the government to get its act together. But the government is saying, this is not such a big deal and refuses to see this as a real sanction.